Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Swapna. This is the fourth chapter of Marketing Environment Analysis and Strategies, and this is the first lecture on the fourth chapter, that is Marketing Strategy. We know in a typical marketing there are 4 P's, that is product, price, place, and promotion. So let us discuss about the first P, that is product. A product is anything that can be offered to a market to satisfy needs or wants. The products that are marketed include a physical goods, services, event, people, ideas, information, places, properties, and the organizations. A product is a bundle of all kind of satisfaction, both material and a non-material, ranging from economic utilities to show the socio-psychological satisfaction. It is a bundle of physical, service and a symbolic particulars expected to give satisfaction or benefit to the customer. A product may be a goods plus service too. In such case, it is a both tangible as well as intangible. For example, the food that you eat in a restaurant is the tangible product, whereas the feeling of eating in a luxurious atmosphere of the hotel is the intangible product. Hence, the product is tangible and intangible nature. Product is a way to satisfy our needs and the wants. Let us see the definition of product. A product is the sum total of 3 things: the intrinsic characteristic, its materials and the construction, its ability to perform, the extrinsic characteristics, its packing, brand and a trademark, and the tangible associated with it. Hence, the product has intrinsic and the extrinsic characteristics. Product should have a certain characteristics, both the explicit and implicit. In order to have a clear understanding of the product concept, it is essential to understand these explicit and implicit characteristics of the product. Let us see about the explicit characteristic. The explicit product means there is not much disagreement amongst the buyers and the seller about the existence of these characteristics in the product. Hence, the buyers and the sellers both are the agree for such characteristics. The first is a physical configuration. A product is a bundle of some physical material. It is made up of wood, plastic, glass, stone, metal, etc. Every product has its own size, shape, color, destiny, texture, taste, and host of other such physical attributes. On the basis of its physical characteristics, it has an apparent function or a set of functions to perform. For example, a toothbrush is used to clean tooth. However, an old one may be used to clean for jewelry and others. Toothbrush is made of a plastic material. Let us see the second characteristics, that is associated service. A product are sold with the common understanding that the seller will render associated services in case of each product. These are before and after sales service. Before and service, after sales service and before sales service, it's a demonstration. It is a before sales service demonstration. A credit card facility is available, and the after sales services are its a delivery, installation, making available spare parts, then the repair service and the warranties. These are the after sales service. Hence, the product is with the associated services, before services and after sales services. Let us see the third point. It's a product mix. The next is a product mix. This point out the relationship of the product to other products sold or the made by the firm. That is, a given product is a part of a set of products offered for sale by a particular seller and has an impact on how the seller and the buyers consider it. The consumer does not think of the product is a product in isolation, as he knows that the producer makes the other products too. Hence, here the producers offering a set of products for selling. Let us see the next, the package and a brand name. It is useful to consider package as a part of the product, for it is sometimes difficult to separate a product into a content and a package. For example, the perfumes, deodorants, the lipsticks, etc. They enjoy a greater demand because of their attractive packages. The brand name is intrinsic to the product. A brand stands for the product. You do not need to name the product. You just name the brand. For example, Colgate means a toothpaste. It is a brand name. Packing is for the attractiveness and for storing your quality of product, and the brand name, it is for making your product a popular. And the last, it's a product life cycle. A product like a human being has a life cycle, and at any point of time a product can be located in some stage of its existence. जैसे ह्यूमन बींग्स को जैसे लाइफ होती है, वैसे प्रोडक्ट को भी एक लाइफ होती है. So that is explained as a product life cycle. The sales of a given product follows a characteristics pattern of increasing at a first slowly, then at an increasing rate, and then at a decreasing rate, and finally the absolute sales being to decline. The time required for each of these stages varies widely among the products. The product life cycle is made up of the 4 stages. Of each has its own implications for the producers as well as consumers. A product life cycle has 4 stages, that is introduction, growth, maturity and decline. Let us see about an implicit characteristic. The implicit product are those which has a disagreement amongst the consumers about the existence and a nature of a certain characteristics in a product. The disagreement from the intrinsic characteristics of the product. This disagreement exists because each individual sees the product in a somewhat a different and therefore the unique way. यहाँ पे implicit characteristics में some products में कस्टमर को सर्टन प्रोडक्ट चाहिए होता है, इसकी वजह से वो यहाँ पे डिसएग्रीमेंट भी दिखाते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल ब्रश लेना है तो फिर वो जैसे है वो वैसे लेते हैं, लेकिन अगर कोई शर्ट लेना है तो फिर मुझे ये चाहिए ये नहीं चाहिए, ऐसे वो सिलेक्ट करते हैं. सो इट इज एग्जाम्पल ऑफ द इम्प्लिसिट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स. The disagreement exists because each individual sees the product in a somewhat different and therefore a unique way. Let us see. The first intrinsic characteristics of a product is a party wear product symbolism. Let us see intrinsic characteristics of a product. The first is a product symbolism. A product is a cluster of symbols. By its colors, shapes, size and functions. A different size of a product gives it a different meaning to a different people. Similarly, a different color or a different functions and so on. For example, a gentleman wearing a white or a grey shirt gets the perceived as a traditional man image as compared to a gentleman wearing a red or a rust colored shirt. Thus, a product is a sum total of the meaning it communicates when the other looks at it or uses it. It may communicate a symbol of the status, style, economy, performance, achievement, boldness, and so on. Hence, in product symbolism, यहाँ पे different color के products available होते हैं, different size के product available होते हैं, variety of products यहाँ पे available होते हैं, और हर एक अपने स्टाइल से, अपने लाइक्स और डिसलाइक्स से वो प्रोडक्ट परचेज करते हैं. लेट अस सी सेकंड, अ कम्युनिकेशन मीडिया. बिकॉज अ प्रोडक्ट इज अ बंडल ऑफ सिंबल्स, इट इज अ बंडल ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन also. Of course, what the communication is, it is determined by the customer's personal interpretation of the symbols, the mediated by his culture group and group influences and a personality. The every product says something about itself. The every product is a storyteller about what it is, what it is used for, at what rate, by whom, where it is available, and so on. With every product there is an information given or a hidden. The next is a product perception. A product are the perceived or viewed in a different way by a different customers. A perception is a psychological process. Perception being with a cue of the environment that is received by a consumer. This cue sends a message to the brain. The brain compares this message with the other stored messages in the brain and the perception occurs. Product perception मतलब कस्टमर के माइंड में एक प्रोडक्ट की इमेज होती है और वो इमेज वो उस प्रोडक्ट के साथ मैच करने, उस प्रोडक्ट के साथ वो मैच करते हैं. जो दिमाग में इमेज है वो जो अवेलेबल इमेजेस है उससे वो मैच करते हैं. The next is the product evaluation. Truly speaking, it is almost impossible to separate the perception of the product from its evaluation. Both the conceptual and operationally, through the theoretically, the separable, they occur simultaneously. Along with the perception, evaluation implies the setting up of a set of criteria to determine expected satisfaction. It is a comparing the efforts the involved and a reward the received by the consumer. Thus, the efforts may be the necessary search for the product and the price as it affect the consumer's pocket. The evaluation may be of rewards, functional, psychological that he gets in return. However, here the evaluation differs from individual to individual and from time to time in case of a same individual. Thus, every product has both implicit and explicit characteristics, and both these together make up of the product. Hence, the explicit characteristics means not much disagreement amongst the buyers and the sellers about the existence of these characteristics in the product, and implicit characteristics means when there is disagreement amongst the customers about the existence and the nature of a certain characteristics in a product. Thank you.